Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and you can see who's on screen. This is the Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Dirge. I've looked at Ramjet some time ago. I looked at Thrust pretty recently, and there was so much you could do with Thrust. You could, put his guns in different locations, either on his back wings or his upper wings. You could move those engine pieces around. And the last one to look at is Dirge. This will round out the trio of the Conehead Seekers. And truth is, I think that Dirge might be the shining star of that group. I know, Dirge. Somebody that you usually forget about. But I think he might be the shining star of that set. Stick around, we're going to look at this guy in the next Got Bot True review. And I'll explain why I think he might be the standout of the Coneheads. Okay folks, welcome back to the channel. This is your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and I thank you for coming. I thank you for dropping by and spending a little bit of time with me. As always, check me out everywhere. Check out everything I do. Always appreciate it. And we're going to go right into Dirge. This is the way the guy came in package. Beautiful jet. Again, the paneling, the panel lines are gorgeous. The structure of it is gorgeous. Even the way that the engines, the thrusters are shaped back here and molded, gorgeous. I absolutely love these guys. And this was a classic mold. It was a great mold. I mean, it's clean underneath. It's beautiful. This is one of those times when I feel like the Hasbro version honestly does the best job. I really do feel like it. In terms of paint apps, okay, granted, not perfect because, you have the added white and red here on the wings. And, when we get to robot mode, you'll see that there should be some more, not even black, it should be gray here and here. And there's some purple that should be up here on the thighs. But overall, you're not going to mistake that this is Dirge. I would say the paint apps are a 9. I'd say a 9, a little bit of a departure, but overall, really, really good rendition as far as I'm concerned anyway. In my own personal opinion, you might have a different one, and that's cool too. Posability, playability, well, he's an excellent plane. I can tell you that. They're all excellent planes. He has the same limitations that this mold always has. So I can tell you now, his posability, playability is a 7, maybe 7.5, because the mold is a bit aged. Do I think that these guys should be redone and updated? I don't know. But I've never talked about it really with the other versions of this mold, but I'll touch on a couple of things that I think could be benefited from an update with this guy when we get him in robot mode. Transformation, again, it's like a 9. It's simple. I would say overall, right now, I'll tell you folks, right off the hop, Dirge, you're looking at somewhere around a 9. So you take out his guns, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. You pull down the legs and you split them, and you flip out the feet. There you go. There's his lower body done. Nice, easy, clean. You have a choice. Some people leave these little wing pieces up, and some people flip them like this. I don't know. I kind of dig them flipped, to be honest with you, so I'm going to flip them. For the purposes of this review, I'm going to flip them down. I think in the instructions it probably does tell you to flip them down, to be honest with you. You open up the chest, and as always, you flip out the arms. This is nothing new if you've seen this mold before. If you've never seen it before, well, now you're getting a chance to. You flip out the arms, beautiful. You unpeg the head. It pegs in up right here. There's a little hole up there and a little tab right there, and they fit together. You swivel the head around and you bring it forward, and you'll see that there's a hinge in here, and you're basically accordioning that hinge down. You turn the head around, and you make sure that's all nice and snug and fit in there, and then you close the chest back up, and assuming you have fingernails that can do it, you take out a fist, and you take out another fist. His weapons, his null rays, I'm calling them null rays. I don't know what they're actually called. We'll call them null rays. Again, they do fire. I'm not firing it, but it's a pretty strong spring actually, and you're left with this. But I only ever remember him with the full thing, so I don't tend to fire it. Luckily, they're not really touchy, so you can kind of, not worry about accidentally misfiring them. And here, in the end, boom, there's Dirge in robot mode, and doesn't he look great? I think he looks great. If you're wondering how he compares with a modern day Deluxe, well, here's our friend Alpha Bravo, who he helps us out. What's he looking up at? Look down, Alpha Bravo. They're about the same size. They scale well. Again, posability, playability, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. The head, it just turns around. I see why I couldn't go up or down. I don't know if there's a way really to fix that with the cone heads without having at least a fake cone head. And I prefer this being real. The shoulders, they go all the way out and go around. And I think that all of the versions of this mold could have done with smaller null ray guns, because they do tend to get in the way a bit. Now, there's no bicep swivel. There is an elbow to about 90 degrees. You can see it right there. But there's no bicep swivel. It would have been nice if maybe, I don't know, up in here or at the hinge there was a small mushroom peg that would allow it. Or even if it was below, even if it had to be below. It might be a little difficult to do. Maybe if the arms were slightly longer, you could do it easier. The legs, they go out and back a little bit. I can see the limitations going back because of this part of the jet. Going forward, it's good. It's not bad. It's just, I think that if the hip skirts could maybe swivel up out of the way, you'd get a little bit more motion. I don't know if you really need any more than that. There is a swivel here, and you do have a knee bend. I can also understand why there's no waist articulation. It would have been nice, but I get it. So, could this mold be updated? Slightly. Hip skirts and a bicep swivel. My versions of Starscream, Skywarp, and Thundercracker are all the FOC versions, and the articulation of those blows this out of the water. But for accuracy, come on. That's Dirge. Right there. Beautiful figure. And just to round out the cone heads, here's Thrust, and here's Ramjet, and there's your cone head trio. And you know what? They look amazing. They really, really do. This mold was an excellent usage for them. I'm glad I got all three in this, in this version. They look great. Why do I say Dirge is the standout star? Ramjet's good. I had to do some paint apps on him because he was the least accurate. Thrust is good. He's interesting. There's a lot you can do with him, but I feel like his wings get in the way the most. And his null rays are really loose. Dirge, I never done a thing with. I didn't touch him. I didn't repaint him. I didn't touch him up. Dirge is just beautiful, being his own dirgy self. Anyway, folks, that's it. We are done with this mold. For those of you that, have seen it 100 times, we're done. We're done with this mold. I'm really glad, though, that I got him. As always, I'm going to say, thanks for watching. And, of course, I always welcome you here because I really enjoy when we have a visit right here inside the videos.